What is the street parking vault?
The street parking vault is one workout a week for 25 weeks with the goal of helping you build consistency.
You can do any version of the workout.
You can customize these workouts to make them work for your equipment and fitness levels.
Each week, log your workout before the time is up.
Remember, your scores do not matter.
You just can't miss.
All right, welcome to week 15 of the 2023 vault. Today we're tackling ISIS. Make sure you guys stick to the end of this workout so that way you can catch the demos and also the tips that I will be providing for you. And for any of the customizations, make sure you guys visit my.streetparking.com. Today I'll be doing program A with the 50-pound dumbbells, the extra challenge reps, or the extra challenge weight. And I have Jess with me today knocking out program B with the barbell squat cleans and the deadlifts and everything. So we're really excited to get after this. Let's see how this goes.
And here we go, week 15 of the 2023 vault. Jess and Julian are taking on ISIS.
ISIS?
ISIS?
Oh my. Okay. What is ISIS, Alex?
Well, you know, because we are smack dab in the middle of Project April, I'm going to go ahead and explain the dumbbell version, Program A today.
Idea.
So Julian is doing, for part 1, a 6-minute amrap of 30 dumbbell deadlifts,
Okay.
followed by 30 dumbbell squats.
Okay.
With any time remaining in the 6-minute window, he's going to do max reps of dumbbell squat cleans. After those 6 minutes, he'll rest for 4 minutes, which is so nice, right?
That's my favorite part so far.
Part 2 is for time, and it's whatever his score is, but backwards.
My. Okay.
So, as an example, let's say he gets 45 squat cleans.
Okay.
In part 1.
Yep.
He'll start with 45 squat cleans in part 2.
Okay.
Then move on to 30 squats and then 30 deadlifts. And however long that takes him, that's his score for part 2.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
That's a lot of things.
All the things.
All of the things. And he's over there now on the squat portion with his 50-pound dumbbells. Mm-hmm. We also have Jess, LT over here. She is also on the squat portion and using a barbell today. Doesn't normally use a barbell. Is primarily using 25-pound dumbbells. So was excited to hit this with a barbell today. And tested out some weights beforehand. Ended up going up to the 75 pounds on the barbell. So I'm excited to see how this all pans out for her.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for her. We know dumbbells aren't any less challenging than a barbell, but when you haven't used one in a while, it can absolutely feel like a really, really tough challenge. So I'm super stoked. I know she's a tough woman, so
Yeah.
she's ready for the challenge.
It's a bit more of a challenge, obviously, as well, because you're looking at, instead of two 25-pound dumbbells, which according to math is 50 pounds total.
That is how math works.
She's now slinging an extra 25 pounds.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it's definitely more challenging in the weight area and probably a little bit in the movement too. I mean, you gotta get those elbows up, right?
Yeah, for sure. A little bit more, maybe. I mean, I guess you could argue a little bit more technical, a little bit more technique involved with a barbell squat clean.
Yeah.
So her version, the reps are a little bit different. So she had to do 25 deadlifts and then 20 front squats, and then now she's chipping away at those max reps squat cleans. The goal also varies from version to version. So whichever piece of equipment you guys end up using for this one, just make sure that you read it thoroughly, you understand what you're doing. Maybe even write it down. You know, that's
Look at
always
that.
a good idea.
Writing it down is a great idea.
Yeah, and check to make sure that you know what the goal is for the workout.
So coming into this workout, they both said they were going to be breaking up the movements ahead of time. So the deadlift, the front squat, they might be breaking those up. And then going into the squat cleans, they're approaching it a little bit differently because, you know, obviously one person has a dumbbell,
Yes.
one person has a barbell.
Yeah.
Julian's trying to string together 3 to 5 reps at a time so he doesn't have to put down the dumbbell. And then Jess is going for singles or doubles. She's not trying to hold on to that bar too long.
Yeah, it looks like she's going for doubles right now. The cool thing about a barbell is you can drop it from the shoulders, whereas with dumbbells, I mean, I guess you could, I just don't recommend it.
You're going to spend a lot of time chasing some random dumbbells
Exactly,
around.
yeah, and I feel sorry for your toes. I am interested though, I'm glad to see Julian showing this technique just so that everyone knows it is an option.
Yeah.
So often we see squat cleans performed with the dumbbells outside the feet. He's going with a narrower grip, wider feet, and just not shifting the feet as he drops underneath the dumbbells.
I love that. I've
Yeah.
actually never thought of that before, and I think that's something that I might give a try because honestly, when it comes to getting back down to the ground each time, putting your feet inside and outside, I feel like my low back can start to light up.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say, really, it's tough to escape either way because a wider stance, narrower grip, you have to be really mindful of keeping your core braced because
Yeah.
it can lead to some low back tightness. But I think that that's true regardless of
Oh,
what
yeah.
stance or grip you use. So, but yeah, and then also. We'll wait until the second part to see him do that again, but I hope people notice how he was holding the dumbbells for the squats.
For the front squats.
Yeah, that's a really great strategy. It kind of turns it more into a back squat where the weight's kind of
Not
more
as
toward the
grippy.
backside. Yes, that too. So if you can figure out a way to balance the dumbbell head on the shoulder and just have them stacked vertically, that works really well.
Right on, right on.
I know a lot of people are maybe begrudgingly going to be doing Program A, knowing that it's Project April. This would be a fun one to do with barbell, but we know a lot of the street parking community is going to grab their, or it would be a fun one to do with barbell, but a lot of people are going to grab their dumbbells for this one.
All right, so we are looking at a little less than 30 seconds. Wait, right? Am I reading that right?
20
Yeah,
seconds
okay,
now,
20
yeah.
seconds left in this first part. And then they're going to
Yeah.
get a nice 4-minute rest,
Yes,
which actually is a rest.
it is.
Because
I
feel
do.
like
I do
sometimes
think
you put in like
so.
a 1-minute rest and it's like, wait, well, that wasn't a rest, was
Right,
it?
yeah. It is pretty substantial. It's still not the
3,
same amount of time as their working
Rest.
working part,
Rest.
but it's a significant chunk.
Significant chunk of rest is what I like to hear when it comes to a vault workout. I'm going to go interview Julian real quick, see
All
what he
right.
has to say about this. All right, Julian, so you just finished this first 6-minute AMRAP. How did it feel?
The legs really take a hit. I was able to get 30 just to kind of, that was like a number for me to hit. So that way I was able to get 30 reps at each section. You know, I really had to mentally check in to hold on to the last set of 10.
Are you going to pace any differently on the way back down?
You know,
I can grab some.
I'm gonna hold on to sets of 5, and then you gotta stay calm and steady on the squats. I was able to do that one set, focus on breathing. That helped a lot. Thank you. On the deadlifts, just hold on and get it done. So we'll see. I just gotta pick up the dumbbells a lot quicker. It just hurts. I mean, it burns it out.
How many did you get?
Well, right on, you got a little bit of rest left. Good luck on the second half. All right, LT. How did you like that first part?
The first part's good. The whole squat cleans, not as much after front squats.
24.
So picking up the barbell, are you excited to use the barbell today, or how are you feeling about it?
I love it. It's been a while, so it took a few rounds to really get into it again and feel comfortable with it again.
Are you going to change anything going into the second part?
No, not at all. I might be able to do a little bit better on the barbell squat cleans, a little bit better. I can probably do 2 each time instead of a few that I did singles.
Right on. So. And you have any kids at home you want to give a shout out to?
Avery and Lucas.
Hi, Avery and Lucas.
That's
Excellent.
I'm just trying to breathe.
Enjoy your last few breaths. All right, so how much time do we have left on the clock for their rest?
About 90 seconds or so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and so I'm really impressed. They both were able to fall within the goal reps for part 1. And if you're wondering back home, those of you watching, if you're wondering what weights you should choose, basically you want 3 minutes. Three of those 6 minutes to work towards the squat cleans.
Wow.
So you need to consider how long it's going to take me to do these deadlifts, how long it's going to take me to do these squats. You're looking at, a minute and a half per, depending on the weight that you've chosen. And then I really think singles on the barbell should get you in that sweet spot. She was on the higher end of the reps with, I think, around 3 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 3 minutes to work towards that. So, yeah, lots of wiggle room there. Really generous. I think it's a good one to challenge yourself, go a little heavier than you think you should. Yeah.
What weight do you think you're going to try to use?
Well, I probably will do dumbbells. And because I've committed to using 30-pound dumbbells in Project April, I think I'll stick with that.
Right on.
Oh man, it's not quite extra challenge, but it's somewhere in there. It's between 25 and 35. So
get it, Alex.
What are you thinking? Are you gonna do dumbbells, sandbag?
I don't know. It depends on what the weather's like that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Just depends. Probably gonna go with dumbbells because it's Project April. I mean, you got to, right? You got to.
Yeah.
Because then you can have the second round to go and use whatever you want. All right, we have 10 seconds coming up. Yeah, that rest wasn't as restful as you hoped.
All right, so they're starting with squat cleans.
3, 2, 1, and go. So here we are. We are in part 2, which again, remember, is part 1. Everything they were able to complete in part 1, just backwards. So you start with what you finished with.
Exactly.
And work your way back.
Just like a mirror, just a reflection of what you did before that. Yeah.
Well, okay then.
Actually, let's talk a little bit about Isis. So
let's do.
Isis is, I don't know that she's a deity, but she's the grandchild of Tefnut.
Okay.
So flashback to week 6 of the 2023 vault.
Yep.
1 minute back squat, 3 minutes clean and jerks. You do that a few times.
Yeah.
That's probably seared into everyone's brains. So Isis is the grandchild of the deity Tefnut.
Okay.
And she collected the pieces of her brother, but also husband, Osiris's body.
The good old-fashioned brother husband.
Yes.
Okay.
And put the pieces of his body back together.
So just a lovely story all around.
It's pretty gruesome, actually.
Okay. That's just a great bedtime story out there for you guys if you ever want to tell it to your child. I highly recommend you do not. All right. Here they are going back through part 1, but backwards. You'll see Julian is still doing that between the legs with the dumbbells. Remember, those are 50-pound dumbbells, so they do look big for a reason. It's because they are big.
They are big and they are heavy.
And then we have Lieutenant over here doing her thing with the barbell.
Lieutenant, tell me more. Tell me more.
She's a lieutenant for the Air Force.
Wow.
So soon to be, sounds like soon to be captain.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mom of 2, out here just crushing it on the vault.
Crushing it. So Julian was able to get 30 squat cleans. So as soon as he hits 30, he's gonna move on to 30 squats.
Okay.
And then finish with 30 dumbbell deadlifts. For Jess, it's 24 squat cleans, 20 squats, 25 deadlifts before she's done. Now,
quick question, Alex.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just wondering, we're looking at a program A, we're looking at a program B.
Yeah.
C is going to be the same thing as A, right? But with a sandbag.
Yeah.
But what shift?
Shift is 6 rounds, 6 deadlifts, 6 squats. Those can be dumbbell or goblet.
Okay.
6 hang power cleans, and then another 6 dumbbell or goblet squats.
Oh.
There is a catch.
What is the catch?
After 6 rounds, You'll rest 3 minutes.
Love it.
Nice chunk of rest.
Actual rest.
And then you're going to repeat that.
Oh, man.
So another 6 rounds.
So we're actually talking about 12 rounds.
basically.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yes,
Just as
yes.
long as we're on the same page there.
Yeah, and so we chose, the deadlift and the squat because much like Osiris's body,
Okay.
those are pieces, separate pieces
Oh my.
that when put together
Oh my.
are the, parts of the squat clean. So
Oh, that's just fantastic. I'm really loving that.
just, making sure you guys are getting a visual of this workout.
I love a good visual, Alex. I love a good visual.
All right,
Alright,
so
so here we
Julian
go.
just wrapped up his squat cleans.
So now that he's going into the squats, why don't you talk about what you were mentioning earlier is how he does a squat with a dumbbell.
Yeah, and I will say this does take practice, guys. It doesn't look like it, but he is working to keep those balance there. If you haven't tried this yet, I don't recommend practicing it in the workout
Yeah,
for the
no.
first time.
The
Definitely
first time
warm
I
up
tried
with it a
this,
few times.
I hit myself in the head the
Yeah.
first time I tried this. So this is
Yeah.
something you definitely want to get. You could try it in the warm up, see if it's going to work out, but you want to find that sweet spot
Yeah.
before you are tired.
And honestly, if you notice how high his elbows are, that's really necessary. If your shoulders are too tired and you're starting to feel your elbows dropping,
Yeah.
I would just go with a grip that you're more familiar
Yeah.
with, more comfortable with, and just keep chipping away at those squats.
Not everyone has trap pockets.
It's
all
true.
right?
It's true.
Julian
Yeah.
has a solid set of trap pockets. Not everyone has that same set.
Yeah.
For me personally, I can hold it up there, but I actually kind of tilt the dumbbells so they're kind of triangular
Yeah,
and
kinda
resting
like
on
making
each
an
other.
A, yeah,
Yeah,
behind
and they're
your
like
head.
a little bit behind my head and they're touching
Yeah.
each other, so they're not banging into my head repeatedly.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe he's trying to do these 30 reps unbroken. I haven't seen him set those dumbbells down yet.
Oh,
There it is.
There it is.
And Jess is also on her
There we go.
squats, steadily chipping away.
Let's talk a little bit about now the barbell instead. You're doing a front squat with the barbell. What are some things you want to keep in mind?
Definitely, well, actually, much like Julian's grip, leading out of the bottom of the squat with the elbows. I always tell people, imagine you're a puppet with strings attached to the ends of your elbows.
Yep.
And they're attached up to the ceiling. As you stand up, we want those strings being pulled up.
Yep.
Now, for most people, keeping a full firm grip on the bar with the hands and
Yeah.
keeping the elbows high
Yeah.
are two they're mutually exclusive.
Yes.
They can't both exist at the same time. So
Yep.
definitely loosen up that grip, allow the bar to roll back into the fingertips so that it can
100.
rest on the shoulders, and just be mindful of those elbows dropping as you come out of the bottom.
Got it. And Julian is on to the deadlift portion.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. With this workout in particular, when we do, the AMRAP with rest followed by your score for time,
Yes.
we really we weren't expecting. Typically, we say within 30 seconds of your previous score.
Right.
For this one, we were a bit more generous. The
Done.
goal now is 6 to 10 minutes.
Yep.
So getting the same work done, but this time 6 minutes is the low end, and we're being generous. We're allowing for it to take up to 10 minutes. That's 4 minutes longer than it did the first time around.
Yeah.
And these are just big functional movements. Your body's really tired by the time you get to that second part. So
100%. Julian just finished that in 16:07, meaning he only tacked 7 seconds.
yeah,
onto
that's
his
really,
previous score.
really, really impressive. I'm glad he went with. I always am glad Julian goes with extra challenge. It's super
Oh, yeah.
appropriate for him.
And
All right, Jess is wrapping
into
up
the
these
deadlift.
deadlifts. Nothing left after this.
Julian is cheering her on from the sidelines, telling her everything looks good. She's just uncomfortable. Keep holding on to the bar.
It really does. It does look good. She's keeping the bar nice and close to her legs. Nice long arms. Back is flat.
Solid movement.
Yeah, those are some solid deadlifts. Super proud of Jess for staying
really-
true, digging deep, moving well. Yeah.
17:14, I want to say.
Yeah,
somewhere
that
around
sounds about
there.
right.
So we're just looking at another minute to minute and 15 for Jess. She crushed that, and that's well within the
Oh,
goal.
yeah,
Like
yeah, she was on
solidly
the
in
faster
there, like,
end, yeah.
super fast, worked all the way through. Very nice. All right, so what we'll do now is we will go to Julian for some tips on Isis.
All right. Chair. I need a chair. All right, so yeah, you just have to kind of stay in it. You feel like you're recovered, but 5-10 squat cleans in, that 4 minutes didn't feel like enough recovery. So you just have to have reps keep in mind that's going to work for you. I think if you're using barbells, go singles and quickly, so that way you're not under load and you can recover as much as you can, because where it gets really tough and mental is the front squats. Even with the dumbbell squats, I think I only had 5 left, but I still chose to break. In my head, I was like, okay, I know that going into the deadlifts, that should be done in as few sets as possible, so I'm gonna break now, go into those last squats, and then go unbroken on the deadlifts. And even on deadlifts, you think you're gonna break, but then you get to that halfway mark, and you start to realize like you're okay. Unless your form is being compromised and your back's completely laid up, but for the most part, it's gonna be all here for sure. So I would push you, I'd challenge you to get that set done in 1, 2 at the most. Just be finished with the workout. So, but that's it. I think it was appropriate what I was able to do. I was 6:05, so 5 seconds later than my first part. So I feel good about that, actually. But yeah, now let Jess kind of talk about how she felt about it.
That was rough. I didn't take into consideration after doing part 1 when I plan to do part 2. So my plan for part 2 went out the window. I was planning on doing 875 on the front squat, but that didn't happen. I ended up breaking it into 5s, which was fine because it worked out for the deadlifts. I was able to do all 25 in a row, and as Julian said, it's all mental. There was a point where I wanted to stop, but with Julian in the background told me to keep going, helped. But I was also telling myself, okay, 10 more, 5 more, and then I was at 25. It feels much better to be done.
Welcome to week 15 of the 2023 Vault. This week we are taking on Isis. This workout has 2 parts. Part 1 is a 6-minute amrap. That's as many reps as possible in 6 minutes of 30 deadlifts, followed by 30 weighted squats. And then with any time remaining in the 6 minutes, you'll perform max reps squat clean. After that, part 1, you'll rest for 4 minutes. Part 2 is completing your score from part 1 for time, but there's a catch. You're going to do it backwards. So you'll start off with the number of reps of squat cleans you were able to complete, then move on to the squats, and then you'll finish with the deadlifts. You have 2 scores for this workout. The first score is the total number of squat clean reps you're able to perform, and your second score is your part 2 time. Your goal for the squat clean reps is 30 to 45, and your goal for part 2 is 6 to 10 minutes. While the deadlift and squat weight might be relatively light for you, and you may be tempted to just blow out those 30 reps unbroken, we recommend breaking those up a little bit from the start. No matter what, you should be getting through those deadlifts and squats within 3 minutes so that you have a solid 3 minutes to work towards those squat cleans. Do your best to hang on to the weight for 5 to 8 reps at a time. Take big, deep breaths during your rests and just keep chipping away. To see detailed demos of the movements in today's workout and to see customization options to make it work for you, head over to my.streetparking.com. This workout has 2 parts. Part 1 is 6 rounds of 6 deadlifts, followed by 6 dumbbell or goblet squats, then 6 hang power cleans, and then another 6 dumbbell or goblet squats. After part 1 and all 6 rounds, you'll rest for 3 minutes. Part 2 is repeating those 6 rounds over again. Your score for this one is total time, including the rest, and your goal is to complete it in 15 to 20 minutes. In order to hit the goal for this one, you need to complete each section in 6 to 8 minutes. If you get through those 6 rounds and it's taken you longer than 8 minutes, it might be worth lowering the weight or somehow customizing 1 or more movements so that you can move a little bit faster in the second section. When it comes to choosing weights for these movements, we expect you to do all 6 reps unbroken each time. You can rest between movements if you'd like. You should definitely not have to rest during one movement. If that means you need to choose different weights for each, that's perfectly fine. To see detailed demos of the movements in today's workout and to see customization options to make it work for you, head over to my.streetparking.com.